breaking news this week, I found out I am magnetic. I am now a full-on mutant. Hey, welcome back to Fatherless Behavior with Foreign Sunsets. I'm Jay.
I'm Walter.
And I'm Bash.
Alright, we got a lot of stuff to talk to you guys about today. Since the last podcast drop, we actually had a surprise show. Not really a surprise, but it was abrupt. We got invited to come play at Concept Saves with Krylove and New Architects. It was actually a really cool last-minute show. It was Friday, February 10th. We got some cool footage, but man, there was some wild shit happening that night.
It was a great night. I really liked that Andy recognized us, and he's like, yeah, you guys were here over the summer. I'm like, well, I played here, but you two did show up to come see that.
Yeah, we were there enough.
Yeah, it was really cool that he recognized us and was like, yeah, like, good to have you guys here again. Is that Red Stripe? I'm like, yeah, here you go, man.
Win him over with the red stripe, you know?
Love Red Stripe.
It's good.
That's a pretty good beer. Weird thing, I've made micheladas almost out of every lager available in most grocery stores, including Red Stripe.
Fun fact about red stripe. Did you know the glass is made from fish oil?
I did not know that. That's awesome.
Actually.
That's pretty cool.
I only learned that because we were trying to read what beers are vegan. And that's the only thing that makes that one not vegan. I was just like, wow.
That's pretty good.
Glass is an edible byproduct. I was like, wow, crazy.
I don't even know how to feel about that.
Right?
In all honesty, because it's so, like...
yummy.
Ingenious? No, just the idea of being like, we'll make glass out of the fish. Like, yo, I don't know how we got to those steps.
You have seen like the glass fish though, right?
Oh yeah, the see-through one that's like deep underwater. Yeah.
The glass fish. We gotta stop killing them for red stripes, man.
Yeah. So Concept Saves. We were kind of just browsing through Chicago DIY and trying to figure out like, let's see what shows are happening this weekend. And then luckily we're fans of Concept Saves, the venue. It's a recording studio and music venue that was built inside a no longer used church, right?
Yeah, it's an old church. They also do a lot of post-production and animation from what Indy told me.
Yeah, I think they're trying to get into video, which we're already on. Check out Owlcat Studios on Instagram. You can also start filming your podcast here, or we will shoot almost anything else that you want us to shoot. We got lyric videos coming for a couple bands, including ourselves, which we're kind of stoked on.
It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, a lot of cool stuff coming out.
We're stockpiling a lot of footage right now, including from the Concept Saves show, which we'll put some of those clips right here.
yeah, so that show was the debut of my Mapex double bass pedal as well.
New gear alert.
New gear alert. New gear alert. Just. Yeah, I bought a Mapex double bass pedal. It was the only one they had at Guitar Center that wasn't over $200. But it's nice. It did the job. I just wish I had a better fucking skin for my fucking kick because I kept trying to tune it. So you know what? It sounded good when the foam was loose in the kick. The moment we put it in the pillowcase, I think is what kind of messed it up.
Can I just say, like, I don't want to say that all drummers are cavemen that just make drums go bonk, but how fucking dumb you gotta be to buy a pedal with no electronics that still costs $200.
I know.
Like,
I mean, you think about it. We are cavemen. We put skin over wooden barrels.
As a guitarist, though, like my pedals are like, these are $300. It's like, why? It's like, because these could have taken a rocket to the moon, but instead they make my guitar go woo.
They take your soul to the moon.
What is more fatherless behavior than owning a pedal?
What's
Or a Game Boy?
Oh man, talking about pedals. So one of the big things that I've like prided myself on lately is like finally damn near achieving the tone I think is really nice. And it took me almost 10 fucking pedals in series to get that. And then shout out Jimmy from Krylove. He was on stage with nothing but a fuzz. Like he had a fuzz face, and I didn't really get deets on his fucking wah pedal, but it wasn't even important because he barely used it. He was all fingers and whammy bar, like just crushing Jimi Hendrix covers and some originals. Like, could not believe this madman. Like,
even though you have 10 pedals, we are not a shoegaze band.
No, I only look at my feet once, and it's usually just to hit the one pedal that makes it go from to
So don't give shoegaze bands that much credit. They only have 2 pedals at tops.
I love shoegaze.
2 pedals that do anything. What? Who said that?
I love shoegaze though.
Whoa,
My
whoa,
Bloody
whoa.
Valentine? Yeah, I fucking listen to them on
Just
Valentine's
because you're a
Day.
sneakerhead. Alright, next. Let's
I'm not
talk
wearing
about...
my dunks.
Let's talk about New Architects right now. Did you guys like anything about New Architects? Or actually, do you guys have any comments on Krylove?
They fucking ripped. I'm surprised Jimmy didn't have fucking acid on his forehead like Jimi Hendrix, because he was damn near identical. It was pretty impressive.
We don't know that for sure, but we should ask him when he comes on. Be like,
have you ever done acid?
Were you
Well planned.
Be like, hey, so thank you for coming on the Fatherless Behavior Podcast. We got you each a bandana full of acid. You need to put these on before we talk.
No, but the show concept was great. The DJ performance beforehand was
Zarius. Yeah.
Zarius was really cool. Then some random guy in like an LCD like mask just came and rapped for one song and then immediately pieced out. Like I saw him leave the venue like.
Oh, they had the
Immediately
777s
after.
on their jacket. I never got a chance to ask them if they were fans of Slump Gang.
Slump Gang.
Shout out Slump Gang. 777.
Shout out to Krylove for letting us play at Concept Saves with him the other day. Zekfema was crazy on bass. Their drummer James was so fucking wild. I had to like go around behind just to be sneaking a look because I did not believe the dude was doing it all with one foot. And then Jimmy was shredding on guitar, just full on going full Jimi Hendrix on the fucking thing. It was crazy. Great show. Oh yeah, New Architects didn't. Frankie from Frankie from New Architects. He was only rocking like Boss Giga Delay and maybe an overdrive, I think. Maybe a tuner. I might be stretching on even accusing him of needing to tune. I'm not sure though.
Digitally.
But everybody had substantially less pedals than me and was shredding harder than me, and I was like,
Skill issue.
Now I look like double the fool.
No,
All I know is I look good as a Robin.
you did look very good as Robin. We were all the motif for that show was red, I believe. Walter was wearing a red Robin superhero Letterman jacket. Joe was wearing, what were you wearing? A flannel?
No, so I was wearing. Sorry, I'm actually texting Jimmy right now. Shouts, Jimmy.
Yummy.
No, so I was wearing this Bad Wolf jacket.
That's what it
from
was.
Quinoa Monster.
Shout out Quinoa Monster.
Yeah, check it out. Quinoa Monster is a local Chicago. Oh, yeah. So yeah, I was wearing my Bad Wolf jacket from Quinoa Monster. Quinoa Monster is a local, I guess, anime brand, right? Would you guess?
Anime inspired.
Yeah, anime inspired fashion or streetwear brand.
They do a lot of like, like lo-fi hip hop girl art style kind of thing, where it's like anime inspired.
A lot of pastel colors.
Love the pastels.
Super cute.
Very much Japanese and anime inspired, I would say.
I want their aprons so badly.
Oh,
I love
dude,
the matcha line.
Yeah,
Yes.
the matcha line.
But love you matcha line. It's so cute.
Yeah,
I have the socks.
if you want to check out their stuff, it's really hard to get their stuff because they are still a full small ass business, small
They're
business.
doing great. They're hitting a lot of the convention scene.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. It's hard to get their gear because they're popping right now, getting ready for convention season. Yeah, so
It's already started.
it's really cool.
They're out on the circuit now.
Fatherless behavior at ASIN,
I was gonna suggest
When is it?
May.
May. So
I think it's the week before our show. I'm not gonna talk about that.
Yeah, but
far ahead.
we would have to. I mean, we really should be plugging all the shows because
No, we have to wait
To
until
confirm that.
April to announce it.
I will be gone for a shit ton of April.
We'll have made another podcast before that.
Yeah, so we're trying to drop these podcasts relative to when we have shows because obviously we want to keep this centered around what we're doing musically and how our music career is technically going for us. So as we do shows, we talk to them, we talk about them to you guys here on Fatherless Behavior and tell you about the wacky shit we did.
Speaking of, Joe and I decided to go hit up a show on February 17th at Bricktown Workspace. It is probably one of the coolest venues I have ever heard of because it feels like you're in a Tony Hawk level.
Straight childhood wonder. We're gonna put up some pictures of it right here, somewhere. Yeah.
I missed out, so I can only imagine that. It just makes me think of Tony Hawk's Underground. Just like you guys went into one of those weird warehouses.
Here's the thing, in the middle. So there's this. It's a big venue, and there was a very awesome and lively
Hardcore band. It was a hardcore set that night.
Yeah, it was a
Nice,
hardcore
nice.
night. But there's the show space, and then right next to the show space is a giant bowl.
The skate bowl.
Yeah, a big skate bowl. And right above it, right in the middle, is just a floating VHS tape.
Yeah, like the secret tape. It was awesome.
Like the secret tape in time.
That day also, before the show, I got my bridge pierced. So I went to a hardcore show with a fresh piercing. Probably not the smartest move, but it was still fun. We also decided to hold an impromptu skate competition. Here's some clips from that now. So, again, shout out to Dan, Sam, and Gavin for participating. Everyone for participating, but those three specifically for winning the prizes that Joe so graciously donated.
Oh yeah, so we handed out a bunch of primitive skateboard gear. One of the so Dan got a Super Saiyan Goku like full cutout
Die
deck.
cut.
Yeah, die cut deck. And that was fucking cool because I had been sitting on that one for a while, and I was like, man, what do I do with this?
There's no way you're skating with that.
No, so I can't. So I'm an avid skateboard collector for like really weird art pieces that I like and find, but I don't skateboard. I can drop in sometimes on baby things. Like it's got to be like almost a tech deck ramp, but
That's so.
but I can do it sometimes.
Wheels
If you want to ever see me attempt stuff, I'm usually hanging out at Burnham Skate Park because nobody else is there. Yeah, so Bricktown, we held the skateboard contest.
It was really cool. Got to see a lot of friends skateboarding and shredding too. Shout out Felix, Alex, other Gavin.
But there's more than one Gavin?
Oh yeah,
There was
2 Gavins.
Yeah, there were 2 Gavins.
And a lot of Sams, actually.
So many Sams.
Was this a Sam Bench?
Yeah. Oh, and shout out to Jeff, Jeff from Bricktown as well for allowing us to film and give some stuff away and give back to the community. It was quite an experience. Hopefully, we get to do it again soon.
It was super cool. We got like 15 people to compete, and there was like everybody there. Like I can't imagine a cooler place to have just decided to show up to. I mean, you had all levels of skateboarding, all ages. Was it all ages? There was a lot of different age groups.
I think it was an all-age show.
Yeah, it's like
I think so, right?
I think so, but I can't confirm that.
I'll check on the flyer.
It was one of the coolest things I could have ever like actually gotten to witness firsthand, and we met a lot of cool people that night too. So, like, it'll just be fucking fun to continue to do shit like this.
So many people responded to my story too, like, "Yo, what is that?" And I'm kind of like, "I'll tell you, but you gotta keep it under wraps."
It was funny. One of the clips you would post, I thought it was Joe because the guy was wearing the same flannel in jeans that you always wear. And it's like, when the fuck did Joe start ripping the fucking ball?
Hey man, that was actually Sam. I think that's
I think
he
Sam,
had long hair
yeah.
too. So I think Sam was our second place winner. He got another primitive deck. He got an 8.5
Peacock.
Yeah, it was like a.
That's cool. Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah, it was a beautiful like pastel blue and.
It's with a double
like,
peacocks on it, right? Or is it
Yeah.
weird?
Yeah,
Or no,
yeah.
it looks weird
It
upside
was
down.
weird, yeah. It was like a weird optical illusion looking peacock thing, but it was. I mean, I'm really breaking news this week. I found out I am magnetic. I am now a full-on mutant.
Let's talk about that.
If you followed last week's podcast, you found out that I've been going through medical troubles. Not doing the best health-wise, and that's not just because I'm fat. Turns out I'm a mutant.
It doesn't.
I was at work the other day with old mustache, and
Whoa. Those are people too, okay?
Each one of my mustache hairs is a person. You will respect.
I may not have 2 capybaras making out like Post Malone, but this looks great.
Yeah, at least yours connects. This is 2 months without shaving.
Sad. Not even a little thick.
Not even.
I cleaned up this morning.
Die.
And back. So yeah, so I went to a dermatologist the other day, and I've never been to one. So I was like making a mental note of everything that I need to ask him at work. And then me and Walter are just working, and he's like, "Hey, can you grab that?" I go to grab magnets, and they legitimately stuck to my hand.
Yep.
Like they wouldn't let go of my hand, and I was like,
Oh.
"This has never happened before." And so if I would, like, they were really strong magnets, and the crazy thing is like, if you held it vertically like this, right? Like, if I'm holding it like this, and I put my thumb near it, it goes.
It reacted to your thumb.
Like, it full moves.
It was
to
so
my
funny.
thumb.
I was like, oh no.
Jesus
and
Christ.
so I'm going to, like, I'm at the dermatologist, and he's trying to be real serious while I'm, like, talking to him and panicking and just, like, word vomiting everywhere. And then I was like, and then earlier this week I found out I'm magnetic, and he just looks at me like, what? And I was like, if you have a magnet, I'll show you. And I showed him. He started laughing so hard because he was just like, oh boy, okay, let's take it back 3 steps, and then we'll get to the magnetism. Like, yeah.
So my diagnosis is you are Magneto.
No. If this was My Hero Academia world, he's like Deku's mom. You can only telekinetic books. You're only magnetic on your thumb.
It was like
nothing else.
No, and it's so crazy because I used to have a job where I would make the like guts to harps, and that would have the like I would literally be like metal smithing with a hammer, and one of the things I had to do was full on sledgehammer bearings, metal like steel ball bearings, and sometimes I would hit them so hard that they would break and jettison either bits or whole like pieces, and they would just fly and just violate airspace. Like, it became a projectile immediately. And I guess in one of those instances, I have what's basically a bullet stuck in my thumb, according to the dermatologist.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so he's like, it's so deep in there that it's just been in there. And it's like, and if it doesn't hurt and you don't actually feel it and you didn't know until you got near a strong magnet, the only thing I can tell you is if you happen to go to an MRI or one of those, MRI.
Oh, God.
Like, you have to tell them now.
Because your hand will get fucking destroyed.
Yeah, and he's like, and then we can deal with that then. But for now, he's like, you basically got shot. And I was just like, you didn't have to tell me that the gangster life was for me. Like, I know that. You know what I mean?
Shut the fuck up.
Retaliate? I want to retreat.
Oh man, no, but like it was wild because I thought things couldn't get worse after the last podcast that I decided to title Trials and Tribulations.
As the saying goes, it can always rain harder.
Oh God, does it? And apparently that rain can get embedded in your skin and stick around with you forever.
Like a typhoon, you come compact and explode.
It's gonna take a lot to take me away from you.
But for real though, your magnum opus of your death is gonna be amazing.
There's nothing that 100 Men or More could ever do.
God,
I'm so scared for the thing that finally kills me because it's gonna be a doozy.
It's gonna no compared to everything else. It's gonna be the most like soft, ridiculous thing in the world.
If I get to die in my bed with my wife simultaneously, because I will not let her live without me.
No such thing as moving on.
Like, hey, don't you want all her dreams to come true? It's like, all her dreams? I already died. That's it.
no, we're gonna give her her favorite dream. You're gonna give her her most wish: eternal sleep.
And I was like, yeah.
She doesn't like. All she likes is sleeping.
Insert that Kiki delivers eternal sleep meme that I sent.
Oh my God.
No,
Kiki's
we
delivering
gotta cut this whole thing.
Oh, obviously. But
yeah, but man, fuck. Like, every time I think my luck is slightly different, like, or it's like, oh no, yep, we're finally, out of treacherous waters.
Nope.
It's just like
out of the pan into the fryer.
It's like the waters look calm, baby, but it's full of jagged rocks and undercurrents.
Going back to shows.
Yeah, sorry.
We hung out at book club this past Monday on the 20th because I had seen that one of my favorite bands who rarely played shows because they all have their own independent projects and stuff. Avantis from Chicago, a band of brothers that I have really enjoyed their music for a long time, was playing book club, and we decided to go as a band to go just hang out, we love book club, so we were just chilling and then trying to enjoy some of the music. I was able to cop the 7-inch vinyl that they were selling, and a lot of the footage that you can see. Vinyl. Yeah, we'll put up some footage right here of Avantis. As well as the bands Deary and Dondry.
They sound like dragons from what's it called?
How to Train Your Dragon.
No, but that would be even funnier because
Game of
now they just
Thrones.
became cute. Yeah, I was gonna say Game of Thrones. I imagine them like gangster dragons, but then once you said How to Train Your Dragon, I'm like, no, yeah, that is cuter actually. I like that.
It's also really funny if you take the first letter of the bands. It was just the ADD show.
Adds up.
Yeah, it does.
Adds
Add time.
You know what's funny, John, about jokes is when you point out the clear punchline because you got it 2 seconds late.
Yeah. We should make a fake ad because I'm like, add time. Just like, hi, my name is Walter. I'm running for your local congressman.
I'm running to run over your local congressman.
I wanted to make your
Campaign.
shaking babies, kissing hands.
Oh, we got to because the mayor voting is coming up soon. Early voting already is starting soon. So we got to throw these out there to be like, we're anti-campaign. Get people to vote me and throw me on the ballot. That'd be hilarious. If I became city mayor. It is.
Like,
that's gotta be, right?
Yeah, like
no, wait. There's no age limit, is it, to city mayor?
no, but
No.
specifically stirring shit up during like public processes.
Election.
Yeah, like
Tell that to every political party ever.
Write in Walter in your local ballot.
Hey, no last names.
So we were able to use a lot of cool GoPro equipment that Joe was able to grab literally minutes before the show.
Disgusting capitalism. I love it.
It was insane.
And hate it at the same time.
But we were able to get some cool like overhead shots of some of the bands, and it was fantastic overall. The way that Avantis uses their pedals and stuff for their vocals was like, it was just really cool. Like having the delay, the loop, the reverb, and all that stuff with their vocal pedals was
Pulsator. Like, it had all the features.
Yeah.
I was like, what? All these effects? Holy cow. And then the basses was just slapping the fuck out of that thing.
yeah. That
if you saw our promo come out on 4:20 p.m.
Yeah, at 4:20 p.m.
Oh, that'll be our standard drop time from now on.
Fuck it.
So we were going on Monday because we were like, oh, let's just go, like, you know, check out who's there. And John was like, oh, I really like this band. We should definitely show out 4 of them. You know, they don't come around much. And I was like, oh yeah. Apparently everybody realized that they don't come around much because everybody came out. Shit was sold out.
From what I heard, yeah.
They hit capacity early on, which was kind of cool. Also, shout out to Jesse, the sound guy from our last podcast. He was running the door there.
It was awesome.
So it was cool seeing him again.
Yeah, from what I heard from the merch person for Deary, they said that they asked Avantis to hop on the bill because they just wanted to see Avantis play. I'm like, all right, good to know. So I'm gonna start doing that with bands I like. Like, hey, you want to be on a bill? I like you.
Right, it helps.
I already do that, but
Super Kick, play with us again.
Super Kick.
We do get to play Super
Let's
Kick.
hang out.
Once.
There's a call out post to Super Kick.
Oh man, I sent them a cool text today. Super Kick reply.
If you love me. Especially you, Tom.
Tom, you are my only friend.
See that clip that they put up of Joey the other day? It's like, if only I had said something to myself back 3 years ago when I
Switched to bass.
And
it's the Interstellar, like, no!
No, I can save him. I can save him.
Yeah, I was just like, oh man, because like, so I've been a fan of Super Kick long enough that I remember Joey playing guitar for them. There was actually a point in time where this guy Angel that came to a lot of our shows, me and him were actually feuding over who would get the opportunity to try out to be Super Kick's bass player. I ended up doing bass for Painted Creek for a small amount of time. Cool little band.
I was actually just talking about that show today when I was leaving work.
So I've always liked playing bass, and I definitely in another life would have liked to rock out on the bass, but I'm over here shredding the old noodles. And it was cool to get to play bass, especially in like a band with like some of my other friends. But then the show we got to play, there was just Akira, the movie, playing. And I was just like lost in the scenes and also playing, and I was like, I'm so happy. I love this. I love being up here.
For
Morgan's dope.
It's weird. Akira has a weird place in my life. It's almost like when the song Cigarette Daydream by KG Lovin plays. Like, that song always comes up, and it's always an omen of something. Because something either really great, something either really great or really terrible is going to happen if I hear that song. And like same thing with Akira. Like if someone's like, oh yeah, we're gonna watch Akira, or it shows up on like a streaming thing, or they show it in theaters, it's like, all right, I'm gonna go see it. Something great or something terrible might happen because of this.
Ian, the guitarist of Dondry, like it was actually really cool to watch him play because like. He was playing an Epiphone Les Paul, which was like one of the first guitars I gigged with for a long time, so that was cool to see. But also, he was doing this thing that I haven't seen a lot of people do, where it's like you have a 6 to 7 fret wingspan on a chord, and like I do that sometimes, but like you don't see a lot of people do it because it's really uncomfortable for a lot of people. But to see him full on like singing and like playing like pretty well, but also to be doing like such weird awkward hand positions, like you know, what's this, like 2 dudes cut from the same cloth. Like I was like identifying with that. I was like, oh, right on, you play guitar the same way.
Birds of a feather.
Yeah.
You're coming again, you son of a bitch.
Take your soul. Call me Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, no. So, I talked to Ian from Dondry, and I was like, yeah, that's really cool. And wild thing, not only did I like identify with his guitar playing, but they were also a 3-piece, and their drummer was named Sebastian.
Oh yeah.
Much after our bash here.
Howdy.
And so, that was the funniest shit ever, because I was just like, hermano. But yeah, no, they ripped too. Like, they really opened up the show. It was really cool. And Katrina on bass was fucking crushing it. Like, just all fingers, like it was no fucking problem, man. She was just walking that bass, no problem.
So for Dondry, I really liked how the guitarists switched between their electric and acoustic guitar, because you don't really see that as often anymore. That kind of used to be a thing a couple years ago.
Adam Sandler does it.
Adam Sandler does it all the time. Yeah, it's great.
He's also a musical comic, which makes me laugh.
But he's also like a true guitarist, which is actually kind of cool. Like men's can. The men don't construct.
Oh man, I cry every time I hear the Chris Farley song that he wrote.
Literally a tearjerker.
Second to only Leaves from the Vine.
but yeah, definitely the multi-guitar thing has kind of gone away nowadays.
Yeah.
I only see a few more I guess it's so strange to call them a little older style folk music now because it's that trend's down.
Mm-hmm.
I was you will still have a banjo, a guitar, and then an electric still, because they'll have certain instruments keyed in certain ways to make sure the sound is as peak as possible.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty dope that they had every song had a mosh going for every band at that show.
It was pretty cool.
Oh, at book club?
Yeah, the book club show was about every band no matter how soft their harder beats went. These two kids in the crowd kept fucking just starting a full mosh. I got knocked over into the crowd during the Devonta's.
Oh yeah, I was just throwing.
I'm just what?
I was just throwing bows behind me.
I saw somebody's phone just flying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Did we ever find whose phone that was?
Someone grabbed it. Yeah, I saw it. I gave it back. But it was just funny, because there's just a phone just slid across. I was like, oh god, someone died.
Okay, I do think one of the funny bits was when Avantis was like, see a lot of white people here, and then they just started singing fucking, was it NSYNC?
Oh yeah, they started doing the "You Are
My Fire."
Beep.
One.
Beep, beep, beep.
But let's see, what other crazy shit happened?
I'm sorry, that was Backstreet Boys, not NSYNC. My bad.
Get canceled by all the pops.
All
We
the
don't
pop
know.
stands.
Look, we're Mexican.
Shout out to all the Mexicans.
We don't know a lot of this. I actually don't know that many NSYNC or Backstreet Boys songs, and that's not because boy bands weren't the thing back then. It's just
You know what?
We had different bands.
You know what it was? We didn't have that little player that had the little CDs that you could add onto keychains. We didn't have that growing up.
No, but you know what I got later in life that I thought was fucking rare? A PSP.
Fucking love PSPs.
I got
Oh,
PS Vita now.
PSA, check your PSP batteries because a lot of them recently have been expanding. You should really look into that if you own a PSP. This is a PSA.
February 27th at Book Club Chicago with Daylong Sai and Feels Like Karma. Alright, so shout out to Ugly Lovers for booking the Cubby Bear show, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be their release show, so...
Love or Death EP release.
Yeah, definitely show out for that. It'll be fucking awesome because we'll finally be able to turn up because I'll be back on the booze, and I am excited for that.
Turns up on Tuesday. Wait, what day is the show again?
It's a Friday.
It's a Friday.
Party on a Friday.
That's my
Cubby
normal
Bear.
turned up.
Yeah.
If you ain't there getting turned up on that Friday, you better be at a good baseball game, and it better end with you hearing us right after.
It better end just in a cell because Wrigleyville is known for fatherless behavior.
Ah, dude, you didn't even preface that shit. The fuck? How were we supposed to see that joke coming? Shout out to that dude Christian that I met at Concept Saves. I told him I'd shout him out on the podcast so that he would check it out. So, shout out Christian.